Loco podcast. We're three cousins looking to break generational curses by sharing our mental health and healing journeys. Join me, Candy, along with Lisa and
Rene,
as we talk about the things we're not supposed to talk
about.
about. Yay!
So, as you can see, we're down a person.
So, those of you that are listening, there's only two of us this week.
So
Lisa.
lonely in here.
Yeah, and we had to like rearrange our chairs and everything. It was just adjusting. So Lisa is taking a mental health break, and we definitely understand that.
We encourage it.
We did.
Yeah.
So that's why she's not here. No drama, no nothing. Okay, she's just taking some time to focus on our mental health right now.
Yeah.
So can't wait for her to come back. I also wanted to take this time to address the fact that we know that we started off with 4 and now we're at 3. But we just wanted to put a PSA that Manny is no longer a part of the podcast, but we will continue to use our 4th chair for future guests, Locos and Locas.
Yes.
So just wanted to put that disclaimer. I've tried to put this disclaimer out multiple times, and there always seems to be an issue with it. So hopefully this works.
Finally.
I
like
know.
the 5th try.
I know. I swear. I've been trying to do this for like so many times, and there's always an issue. So this time, hopefully there isn't. So yeah, it's a little bit weird to just be us two, but I think we'll be good.
We're going to miss Lisa's laugh.
I know, yeah, I know. And then her real quicks.
Real quick.
Yeah, but we can't
Hold
wait
up.
to have her back. Yeah, can't wait to hear about, what she did in her downtime.
The process that she's going through.
Yeah, we're proud of her for taking the time to prioritize.
She set her boundaries.
Yeah.
Which was our topic last
week. Yep. She took it and ran with it. So my challenge this week was school started back up this week.
Go Rebels.
Yeah, we're both rebels. I still haven't been to the campus. So getting back into like having to do assignments and having to read, and I have a tendency to just sit on my laptop and sit on the couch like while I'm chilling and hanging out with Fernando, like but then I'm not really paying attention. So I'm trying to be more intentional this semester to like go up to the office and do it there and just be more focused, because now I think also with my major, changing my major, it's like information that I like. Yay! I know. I'm like, this stuff is interesting to me. So.
And I think we're going to take similar classes.
Yeah.
Because you're saying the CED.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I'm excited. Cool. So yeah, I still don't know exactly what I want to do in that field, but I'm excited to like start
the journey.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So I'm excited. So that's my challenge, just getting back into a new routine of school.
Well,
yeah.
I have a similar challenge. I started classes too.
Yeah.
I decided though, I can't do full time right now. Like, I have to work on myself too. And I'm older now, 43.
Yeah.
And my brain's just not
it's
what
hard.
it used to be, right?
Yeah. I jokingly, my sister's kids, I forgot what we were playing. I think we may have been playing Speed, the card game Speed.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, my nephew beat me like 3 times in a row. And I was like, it's because I have an old lady brain now. It's not as quick as it used to be. And then he later on repeated that to his mom and was like, if she has an old lady brain, you definitely have an old lady brain.
Kids are ruthless.
They are. But I'm hoping, you know what, with the new medicine that I started taking, it helps with brain fog. So I'm hoping, so yeah, I totally understand. So, yeah.
So I'm handling the challenges. Yeah, just like you said, it's part of the routine now. I'm just gonna incorporate it into whatever else I have going on, like the walking the dog.
Yeah.
This morning I was gonna walk Kobe and then start on my homework. I walked Kobe, I fed the dogs, and then I went to the couch. I'm gonna relax for a little bit.
Oh no.
And I knocked out.
Once I hit the couch, I'm like done. Don't expect me to do anything.
I text my friend Melissa.
Uh-huh.
I was like, "Sorry, I knocked out." Like we were texting, like
Oh.
fell asleep in the middle of it.
Oh no.
She's
Yeah.
like, "I knew it."
That
We
happens.
both love naps, so.
Oh. Naps are good. I never used to take naps before, but
Oh, I had to
now I'm like, I'm gonna take a nap. Like I'm just gonna fall asleep on the couch. Like it's yeah. It's part of getting old.
It
I'm
is.
gonna be 38.
Damn, you're
this
catching
month.
up.
I know. I know. Like a few weeks, I think. Yeah, in September, the best month ever.
Dang.
I know.
That's crazy.
Time is flying by.
It is.
Okay. So we'll see how that we do this semester.
We'll fill you guys in.
Yeah.
That way,
I
like,
know.
this will keep us in line.
Yeah,
too,
it'll
right?
keep us
Like,
accountable.
accountability.
Accountable.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, because 2 is my max. Usually,
Yeah.
like, for me, with work and stuff, it's just,
Yeah.
I tried to go more, and I'm like, I can't. It's going
Mm-mm.
to take me longer, but I would rather that than
Yeah.
to be anxious.
I'd rather
because-
do it right
Yeah.
than.
Yeah, because I tried before, and then I ended up failing a class.
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh, well, I got to pick one of these.
I mean, I'm getting disability through the VA, and
Oh, uh-huh.
like when you're 100%, you're not supposed to work full time.
Oh,
So I'm like,
okay.
that's the same with school. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna go to school full time.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to my VRE counselor this semester,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, hey, I can only handle 2 classes. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's like, I understand. He's like, if that's the route you want to go, we're gonna do it that way. So he was
That's
really cool about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know your boundaries.
You got to put boundaries on yourself too.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah. You got to know how much you can handle and how much,
Mhm.
you also don't want to not push yourself to do
Yeah.
things, but like, no, if it's too much, it's like
You
you're
gotta
not going to
be
do your best.
aware.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's why I'm like, I stick to my 2 and that's it. And I give myself the summer off.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I'm not gonna go to school in the summer.
No way.
I will take my time.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm like, we should be doctors by now, as long as we
That's
finish
what
school.
I said. I know. I always say I'm a forever college student. Always. I'm like, ugh. They're like, we can't give you any more money. I'm like, okay, I promise. Soon. Well, today we're talking about prioritizing our mental health, which Lisa fits right in with that. You know, she's taking a break for that, which good for her. Why do you prioritize your mental health, Rene?
I realize without like having like healthy coping mechanisms, healthy, because people always think like, I think people think when they think mental health, like you're always happy. Like, oh, your mental health, that means you're always happy. Like, that's not what mental health is.
Yeah.
To me, mental health is like, bad shit's gonna happen to you. It's part of life, like, and it's how you handle it.
Yeah.
The mental health to me is like, shit, something bad happened. Let me deal with it this way, like work out or however whatever your coping mechanism
Yeah.
is, the good ones.
Yeah, the good one.
Not like the drinking, I'm gonna go, yeah, hi, whatever. That's what it is to me, and that's why I prioritize it, because when I wasn't, oh man, it was like, what do we say in the show, when you raw dog life?
Oh yeah, raw dogging life.
I was raw dogging life, and it was a shit show. Like, I was just freaking drinking,
Yeah.
getting high, all kinds of drugs,
Mm-hmm.
not being like the best partner, I guess you can say, right?
Mhm.
And that's part of it. That's unfortunately part of that. Is
Yeah.
when your mental health is not the
Mhm.
best. Like, you're not the best person you
Yeah,
can be.
I agree.
And this is what I say. I'm like, you're gonna live with the brain you have. Why not work at it
Mm-hmm.
constructively, progressive, like, in a good way? Because no matter what, it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
So if you don't work on it, bad shit's gonna happen,
Mhm.
right? And you're gonna do more bad shit. It's gonna just add to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why do you want to live life like that? Why do you want to?
Mm-hmm. Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or my mom says, "Los flojos trabajan doble,"
Oh,
which
yeah.
means the lazy people work twice as hard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that makes sense, especially with mental health. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you do the work, daily,
Yeah.
when that shit hits the fan,
Mhm.
it's there for you. Your brain's there for you.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work against you,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
That's why I prioritize
You
it.
saying that, so I I had my consultation with the what is it, like the trauma therapy for CBT, which is
Oh, cognitive
cognitive
behavior
behavioral
therapy.
therapy.
Yeah.
Um, so with that, she kind of like explained to me, and then she explained how the program went, and it's like during the week, 5 days a week
Oh,
for three
wow.
hours, and it's like outpatient, but you go in, it's like three different categories that they do.
Oh.
But the only thing is that it starts at 2, and I work.
Oh yeah, look at the work.
So yeah, so that was actually part of my challenge
Oh,
too. Is like, I'm
shoot.
like, well, what am I gonna do? Because I need to do this.
Yeah, you
Like,
do.
I know that it's like that's the next step in my my
Yeah.
journey of whatever you want to call this, mental health, healing, everything. Like, I know that's what I need because it's like what you're saying about being a, if your mental health isn't good, you can be a good partner.
Yeah.
That's something that I struggle with. Is like, I battle with, like, I never stood up for myself when I was little, and then now I'm like standing up for myself, but then I'm like combative in my
I was gonna say,
relationship, and I need
overdo
to
it.
not, I'm
Yeah.
like defensive, and I don't need to be defensive for any reason. So I need to find the balance in between that, right?
Yeah.
Regulate my emotions.
Oh, yep.
And so that's what I'm like, wow, that would be so cool if I could do that, where it's like my body, because I know that my body is, like, I still have a lot of trauma in my body. Like, I see, like, tightness in certain parts of my body, and like they're like my fists are clenched, or like even the way that I sleep, like stuff like that. That I'm like, okay, you need to release whatever your body's holding in.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna talk to my boss about that to let her know that I'm gonna need to come in early because I need to leave because at like 1:30, so that way I can get there in time and get that done, because it is something that I want to prioritize. Because
Oh,
they
yeah,
even
you
were
should.
like, they even said like, oh, we can do FMLA if you need to, and I was like, oh, okay, where like you take a leave from work to do that.
Okay.
And I was like, well, it's only 2 o'clock. I can manage it to
Yeah.
go around. My boss let me take a class during my lunch one semester,
Oh,
and so I
wow.
would leave for like 2 hours.
Like a Zoom
So
class?
no, I would go to campus. I would go to
Whoa.
CSN campus, like from work, drive there, take a class on my lunch,
That's
and then come
awesome.
back.
I like when like jobs let you prioritize other things other than the
Yeah.
work. Like
Yeah, that's the way she
our
is.
mental health should be part of that.
Mm-hmm.
It should be.
Yep. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm gonna figure it out and do that. So I'm like, that's how I'm gonna prioritize my mental health. Is like, I know I need the next step, and that's the next step. Because last week I was talking to Tara about CBT, and then also neurofeedback, I think it is, where it's like they like look at your brain, and they show you like different things, and they see how your brain reacts. It's basically like studying your brain.
Wow.
And then they teach you how to cope with these things. But she suggested that I do CBT first, so that I know how to deal with my emotions, because it's going to be overwhelming doing the other thing.
I've done CBT before.
Yeah?
For to the VA for my sexual abuse.
Oh,
I've
okay.
gone through that, so I liked it. It was a little tough because you have to like relive stuff. So
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's, she's like, we like micro, what did she say? We like micro trigger you, and then teach you how to deal with it. So then, we work our way up. And I'm like, okay. I was like, oh, but okay, that's what I'm working on. That's
I
next.
think it helped me for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, not with the whole part of it.
Yeah.
But
it's just another tool.
Yeah,
that you got.
just another tool of it.
Yeah, that's what I need, because that's like, I put myself in a rock and a hard place sometimes, where it's like, later I'm like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Come on.
Like, whoops. Sorry about that.
Yeah. It's always after the fact. I'm like, yeah, but I'm excited for that.
Yeah. That's good.
So let's see, what's next on our list? How are we doing in our journey? Well, I kind of bled into that one.
Yeah.
How are you doing in your journey, Rene?
I think I'm doing well. Like I said in the last episode, that when I noticed my mental health is kind of like not in the best place, is when driving and someone cuts me off. So that's my measurement. That's when I know, and I've been good so far. When it comes to mental health, I think the journey is where I want it to be at this point.
Mhm.
Not raw dogging life. I'm still taking my medication.
Yeah.
I'm not going to therapy because the last therapist I went to, he said, just try to see how you're doing. But
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna maybe in like after the school year,
Mhm.
I do want to go back for therapy, but this is like for my. I think a lot of it has dealt with child abuse,
Mhm.
and I think I need to deal with my military stuff because
Mm.
every night, the last I don't know how long I've been having dreams of being deployed and like my
Mm.
weapon's missing or which one's my weapon. That's a big deal. Big deal
Yeah.
in the military is like your weapon. So I've been having a lot of dreams of that lately, and I think I need to
Mm.
like deal with that.
Yeah, you need to an outlet for it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
look into that, see what I can do. Um,
Mm.
I do need to do some more self help stuff, like
Uh-huh.
reading
Mhm.
and that book that we have,
Oh, the workbook?
the
Uh-huh.
workbook. I
The
need to work
CBT
on
workbook.
that.
Mhm.
Um, Besides that, like I do my routine, walk the boy or walk Kobe right now. I can't walk yet.
He can't? He
No,
doesn't know how?
no,
Oh.
he needs to be has all his
Oh, his
immunization,
shots.
his shots.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. No wonder. I was like,
yeah,
you said you just walked Kobe, and I was like, what
yeah.
about Shucky? Oh, okay. Yeah, he's
So
a new
he
baby.
stays home crying. I'm like, no,
Oh, no.
I
Poor
feel so
baby.
bad.
Yeah.
And I
Oh.
work out, not daily, but
Uh-huh.
like if I need a rest, I need a rest.
Yeah.
So I
You
work
gotta
out
listen to your
still.
body. Hmm.
Um, I did have to take a break from walking because I pulled my hamstring. Yeah.
Oh,
So like the long walks that I do. So I think I'll do that again pretty soon. It's feeling better. So
no. Oh, okay.
yeah, I still do all the stuff like I set out to do on my routine. So
Hmm. Yeah. Well, that's good.
mm-hmm.
I know this morning I took the girls for a walk.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to like go a different route because all the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I like try to make sure because the bus stops are on the route that we walk.
Oh,
So all the kids are there, all the teenagers. I'm like, oh my god.
I hate that.
I
Right here
know.
too. I get
I'm
it
like,
too.
get out of my way.
uh,
But I figured out the exact time that I need to leave the house so that we avoid them, and because then the girls are like losing their shit, like, and so I'm like, okay, we'll just go this way and then go around. So I'm like,
And I
okay,
feel like a lot of them use like the motorized scooters now. Like they
yes,
don't like, dude, get off the sidewalk. Gonna
move,
run us over.
quítate, move out of the way. Oh my gosh, yeah. So my journey right now, that's where I'm at in that place, like, and in between therapies right now. It's funny because I was thinking about I have roller skates that I had bought and I was so excited like years ago, and I fell, like I literally like clipped the edge of something and fell, landed on my back,
Ooh.
and then I like this is before I started going to the chiropractor, but like I fucked up my tailbone, and then I
Shit.
was like, ah. But I was like, but I miss it. Like, it's just something like inner child feeling
Yeah.
that it's like roller skates do. And I'm like, where could I go? Like, could I go to a park that has a lot of grass? And if I feel like I'm going to fall, I'm going to
Just
throw
dive.
myself on the grass? Like, something. I was like, because I look at them in the garage and I'm like, oh. And I have like knee pads and wrist pads because then Fernando's like, well, what happens if you fall and you break your wrist and then you can't work?
Shit.
And I'm like, ah, that's true. But then I don't want to be scared. Like,
Yeah.
we'll get, if it happens, we'll figure it out when we get there. I could type with one hand. I'm like, somebody help me. Text to talk.
Text to talk.
Text to
Yeah.
talk. You can do that. Oh.
I hate doing text to talk.
It never figures it out correct.
No.
Like it's always
Same
off.
here. I'm like, do I have an accent or something? Like, what the fuck?
An accent. Okay, next on our list, if we added any new ways to cope in our journeys. So the walking is something new, like it's newish. It's making sure that I get up in time to do it because it's like I wake up at 5:30, and the dogs know because they're like, Chula will like shake me. She's like, "Wake up! It's time to go." So that helps. My medicine, I have those medicine
the daily.
Yeah, the daily medicine. I have 2, so then I fill up 2 weeks worth. I did it yesterday because I was like, okay,
I need to
it
do
just
that for sure.
it makes it easier
It
because then I
does.
just put all of my medicine in there, my
Mhm.
vitamins in there, and then I just take it in one shot, like in the morning. So that, making sure I'm staying on top of that. I haven't really been doing reading or writing.
Mhm.
Like I would journal a lot. I feel like that's a good outlet for me.
Yeah.
I always say like I'm gonna write a book. Uh,
Same here. I already have a name for it.
what is it?
The Unbecoming Gentleman.
The Unbecoming
Yeah.
Gentleman. Why do you pick that?
I picked that years ago. Actually, me and
What?
my ex best friend, we would always say like we're the
Boo!
unbecoming gentleman, because being a gentleman, right? You're supposed to do all the right stuff,
Uh-huh.
and unbecoming, we weren't doing the right stuff at that time.
Oh, okay. That's funny. Huh.
So we just came up with that name. And like I would want to make a series of it. Like
Uh-huh.
I have my story, so the unbecoming gentleman's story of Renee Salcido,
Uh-huh.
and then whoever else wants to do a story,
Oh, okay.
like
So like
like a
a
series.
series
Yeah.
of people, like a blurb of
Uh-huh.
everybody's life.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I have
Huh.
people that in mind already that I know they make some good story.
Yeah, I know. I think about it and I'm like, how do I write a story about my life without everybody knowing that it's my life? I'm gonna be like a fake name, like in those like Hallmark movies where they're like pretending they're somebody
Oh.
else and then they're like writing.
You
Yeah.
wouldn't use your real name?
No?
No.
I know. I
Ooh.
love that I have my married last name now
Yeah.
because I'm like,
Yeah.
cool, nobody could Google me. I had to Google myself for one of my classes
Oh.
and I was
Yeah.
like, nothing came up. Yes. Undetected. Yeah. Yeah, I would use a fake name.
Damn. I think I'll
Uh-huh.
have to think about that then.
Yeah.
Huh.
'Cause I'm
Not-
like, I mean, I could say it's fiction, but it could really be about my
Oh
life.
no! That's right. For the movie, I was gonna. I thought about writing a movie too.
Ooh, about what? Your life?
Just my life.
Oh, okay.
Afghanistan.
We
just
think our
everything.
lives are very exciting, okay?
I would go with our grandpa's name.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a. If you could change your name, this is random, but if you could change your name, would you?
Hell yeah! I hate my first name.
Really? Where did it
screwed
come
me.
from?
I think like one of our uncles from back in Mexico. Like I
What?
think I don't even know.
Oh.
So the story with my name,
Uh-huh.
real quick.
Real quick.
My mom was gonna name me Ronald.
Ronald.
Yeah.
Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, that's what she said. She's like, all the kids are gonna make fun of you, Ronald McDonald. I'm like, yeah, no one's gonna make fun of Renee. I'm like, come on.
Oh, Renecita. Oh, wow.
If I could change it though, I think I would go with Fortino.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think that's an awesome first name.
That's a very
Fortino
strong name.
Salcido.
That's a nice name. Candy is my real name, by the way. My dad named me. He was the only one
Yeah?
that named me. My mom named both of my sisters. They both have middle names. I don't have
You
a
don't
middle
have a middle
name.
name?
No. Well, I think last week we were joking about what I say my middle name is. Do you remember?
Shit. Motherfucking.
I used to say my name is Candy motherfucking Aguilar.
It's better than mine. Oh, no, I like my middle name actually. Hector.
Oh,
My dad's
your dad's
name.
name. That's cool. I know. I'm like when people name their kids like their first name and then their middle name, but then they go by their middle name. I'm like, why not just name them their first name? But whatever. But yeah, my dad named me after my grandma,
Oh, yeah.
and my grandma's name is Candelaria. But my mom was like, they're gonna not be able to say her name. She's not gonna be able to spell it. Like that's a long, like first and last name. So they compromised, and that's where they got Candy.
Oh.
And I always used to
I
tell.
always thought your real name was Candelaria.
No.
It's Candy. Oh,
No, but when I talk my inner voice, I say Candelaria. Like when I'm talking to myself, I'm like, Candelaria, get your shit together. Yeah. But yeah, they compromised, and that's where that came from. And I'm just like, it's funny because when I met Fernando, he was like, I don't believe you. That's not your real name. I'm like, dude, that's my real name. And I had to show him my ID because he didn't believe me. Yeah. But, yep, my dad named me. So I always used to joke with my abuelita that I was her favorite because I was named after her. And she would just like laugh or like stay quiet.
Mhm.
Like, no. It's like
No.
rude. Rude. I'm named after you. I'm not even your favorite. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Anyways, back to the topic. Any new life changes? So I do have a new life change. We decided not to have a kid. We talked about this before.
Mhm.
We actually met up with a friend who lives in up in Reno, and so he came down and we were like catching up, and then Fernando's like, "Oh yeah, we're not having kids," and he was like, "What?" And that's the first like question ish that I got, right? Like from somebody. And then
Oh,
we're like,
since you
yeah.
announced it.
Since I announced it.
Besides us, because we were like, yeah.
Yeah, I know. You guys like were congratulating me. That felt nice. But and it's funny because I'm like, you ain't got no kids, so why are you asking me what? Like, but he was like, what? And so we're like, yeah, we went on vacation, and that's what I tell everybody. I'm like, we went on vacation and we decided we didn't want to have no kids because we want to live this life. But honestly, it's my mental health. Like I'm just in a place like where I'm good, and I know that I cannot handle that, and so I'm just gonna stay the rich auntie, the favorite Tia, the favorite Nina. Just
it's a good route.
hang out with them and get them back. Yeah, but and so when I said about my mental health, he was like, "Oh, okay," like, and I'm like, "Cause what are you gonna say? You can't say like, oh well, where they're like, well maybe, like, because it's like when we said we only wanted to have one." Then they were like, well, then you have to have another one so they don't so they're not lonely.
Alone.
And I'm like, no, who's going to take care of the other one? Like, no. And originally, Fernando had wanted 3. Oh, no, I wanted 3 and he wanted none.
0.
And then we were like, okay, 1. And then after vacation, we were like, none. We're going to stay dog parents. And even they're like children.
They are. Oh
like
my god.
fighting. Oh my god. Beating each other up, fighting. Oh my gosh.
No, I commend you for that. Like, a lot of people, I think they fall victim. I'm gonna say victim.
Yeah, it's societal.
Societal pressure. Like, oh, you gotta have a kid, and you gotta. That's what you have to do. It's like, no, I don't. Like, where does it say that in the rule book?
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because it's like when you're single, there it's like, well, where's your, when are you going to get a boyfriend or a girlfriend,
Oh,
you know? Then after that, it's like, well, when are you guys going to get married? And then once you guys get married, then it's like, when are you going to have a baby? And it's like, mind your business. Like, what if we don't want to? What if we can't? What do you, whatever. So, yeah. And it's funny because I didn't bring anybody around for like 10 years around the family. Like, I was very careful with who I brought around the family because I was like, I didn't want them to get I just didn't want to keep bringing people in and out, like, here's my boyfriend this month and his, whatever. So, like, nobody met anybody that I was dating for, like, 10 years.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's true.
Yeah, and it was literally like the scene from Fools Rush In where she brings him. You know which one that is? With Salma Hayek?
Salma Hayek and Chandler.
Yeah, and like the whole party stops.
Oh, yeah.
And stares. That's literally what it was like when I brought Fernando because I hadn't brought anybody.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
It was at one of my nephew's birthday parties.
For the other side or for our side?
Our side.
Oh, really?
It was my nephew.
What was I?
I think you were there.
Was I?
Yeah.
I already know. It's
been 10 years. Yeah. Yeah, so that was like the first time anybody had met anybody, and then I had met him, and then now we're married.
That's a tough one, bringing family around, or bringing somebody around to the family.
Yeah. Because then they're like, well, where's so-and-so, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, it's better if you just think I'm single.
Right?
Meanwhile, you're in a committed relationship.
Next time I bring somebody around, I'm going to be married to her.
Surprise, you're invited to our wedding. By the way, we've been together. You're invited to our wedding. That's funny. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So, what about you?
Speaking of
life changes?
Speaking of that, yes, I went on a date for the first time in a year and I don't even know how long.
Oh, wow. How
Since
exciting.
I was engaged.
Oh, my God.
It broke off.
I literally just found out that.
Really?
Like, within the past 6 months, that you were engaged.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
It just didn't work out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything bad about it.
No.
we were different.
You don't have to explain
Yeah,
everything.
I think I needed a lot of work before too,
Hmm.
before I really committed, and um, yeah, I
Marriage
really
is
did.
hard.
Yeah.
Marriage be hard. Okay, everybody wants you to get
Yeah.
married, but they don't tell you that it's hard sometimes. I'll tell my mom that. I'm like, she's like, well, yeah, you grew up one way and he grew up one way, and then you guys gotta figure out what works, you know.
Mhm.
And I'm like, yeah, that's true. So marriage be hard sometimes. Just letting you know.
So actually, that kind of like led me to like reevaluating like my my part in it. Like, oh shit, like it wasn't just all her; it was
Mhm.
me too. Like
Mhm.
I had some stuff I had to deal with still, and I didn't.
Mhm.
So yeah, it led to me like just getting out of the cycle of
Mhm.
I gotta go find somebody new
Mhm.
to make me happy,
Mhm.
right? Because that's what happens a lot in the dating world is
Mhm.
we break up with somebody and we look for the next warm body.
Mhm.
And I was like, I'm not gonna do that this time. I'm gonna completely just get out of the dating scene. I'm gonna work on Rene, which
Mhm.
I'm still doing. I'm still working on myself. It's not something like we always say. It's like healing is not like a linear thing, right? Or
Mhm. Yeah,
yeah,
it's not linear.
it's just something you got to do daily.
Mhm.
So I'm still working on myself. I'm not saying I'm completed.
It's a it's a marathon. So.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly. Something like if you're really working on it the right way,
Mhm.
you're never gonna say I'm healed now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'm healed. I'm working on myself.
Mhm.
So I got myself out of the dating cycle, the vicious
Mhm.
dating
Oh my
cycle,
gosh.
and I was like, you know what, I need to work on myself. And doing so, I actually learned how to love myself, which I never did. I didn't realize that I didn't know how to love myself. I didn't love myself. I didn't love
Uh
who I
huh.
was. And I remember this. I was in this restroom up here,
Uh huh.
and it was like December of last year,
Uh huh.
and I was like, oh my god, I actually love who I am. Like I love myself. I'm like,
Oh.
oh shit, I've never felt this before. And I was
Wow.
like, this is what I want. I want to love myself before I can love somebody else first.
Mhm.
And I think that's how it should be. Like you should,
Yeah.
yeah.
RuPaul says, if you can't love yourself, how the hell you gonna love somebody else? Okay.
The
Can I
sad
get
part
an
is
amen?
it's most of it's not like that.
No.
Most of the dating world is I gotta find somebody to make me happy,
Mhm.
and it's like, oh,
You gotta find your own
you
happiness
gotta
because
find
you
your own
can't let
happiness.
somebody else be your
Mm.
happiness. Like,
I want to bring my happiness into somebody else's life,
yeah.
and not have them have to be my happiness,
Yeah.
right? I'm not saying that I don't want to be happy with them, but it's just not they shouldn't be the core of my happiness,
Mhm.
and because that's asking for a lot from somebody. Honestly, if you think about it, it's
Yeah.
like I'm happy because of you. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
What about when you're not with me?
Uh huh.
Like, and also when that happens, I feel like you can blame the other person
Oh
for
yeah.
not being happy, right?
Mhm.
So it's like I don't want to do that either. I don't want to. Hey, I'm not happy because of you. Like no.
Yeah.
Mm,
No. Yeah, that's good for you. I'm glad.
mm. So yeah, that
Uh,
journey started a long time ago, and me and Alyssa, that's her name. She said I can say her name. We started chatting like about a month ago,
uh-huh.
I want to say, and it just led to texting, and then we started calling each other, talking on the phone,
Mm.
and we decided let's meet up. All right,
Mm.
so we met up. We went to the Raider game, and it was such a great time. Like
Oh,
the vibe was
good. How
amazing with
fun.
her.
That's a cool first
Yeah,
date.
yeah, it was.
That's
And
cool.
like I wanted to bring her something. But I was like, what am I gonna bring her? I can't bring her roses to a Raider game. Like, what's she gonna
Yeah.
do with them? First of all, once she
Yeah.
gets them.
Uh-huh.
So I brought her like this big old Raider chain with like the Raider emblem.
Oh, how
She's not even
funny.
a Raider fan, but I was
Oh.
like, let me give this to her, and
Yeah.
she ended up liking it a lot.
Oh, that's cool.
We had a really good time. Like as soon as I saw her, like we met up, like we clicked right away.
Oh,
Like at first I was
good.
nervous, of course, because you're meeting somebody,
Yeah.
meeting
Mhm.
a stranger practically, right? You talk to
Yeah.
him on the phone, but like we clicked right away and vibe like the vibe was great. So we're gonna hang
Mm.
out more for sure. Yeah.
Cool. I'm
Probably this
excited to
weekend.
see how that goes. Good for you. Is
Yeah.
this the first time you're dating here in Vegas? Like apps?
No, on apps, yes.
Okay, because
Like
I
I met her
know
through our app.
I know previous the other
Yeah.
situation. Um. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I feel like prior you were dating people still in California, and then it's
Yeah.
like, how do you connect with somebody when you're always having to
It was hard.
travel?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Good for you.
Well,
Look
I
at
had
you
moved
getting a
back to
local.
Well, I had moved back to California for 3 months.
Yeah, you did.
But it didn't work. And I came back.
Good.
And I wasn't a fan of apps. I was not like I feel like I don't translate well to apps.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like I always say I'm more like a play. Like you need to see me in person.
Play.
Like a Broadway
So
play.
what did you say is the name of your book title?
Don't become a gentleman.
Oh yeah.
Hey, maybe I should write a play.
Who's gonna play you in your play?
I have to think about that. Maybe myself. Who's bald right now? That's young.
I don't know. That's interesting.
Jake
Oh,
Gyllenhaal could play me. I don't know. He has a shaved head for the war movies, and he played a Marine. I mean, I'm not a Marine, but he played in the military.
Yeah.
But
that's interesting. Well, good for you. That's cool. I know. I was waiting to hear about your date.
Yes, it went great.
That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
And a local girl, so you get to do things around here.
Yeah.
That's why I always wondered, like, what the dating life here would be like.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I met Fernando right when I moved here. Like the next month, I met him, and like 2 months after I moved here. And then he always says that I moved right in like 2 weeks after, and I was like, I did not move right in. I did move in like really quick.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted out of my living situation, so I moved in. We were together for like a month before I moved in.
Oh shit.
I know, and I had never lived with anybody or anything like that prior.
Oh dang.
Yeah.
So everything was just brand new.
And then like I had saved up money from like my old job before I left and stuff. So I didn't have a job for like months. And then at some point he was like, I'm not a papi paga, like you gotta get a job.
Ain't no sugar daddy.
So I got a job, and then we had like a 1-bedroom apartment. Then we moved to a condo like that. Actually, it worked out because Lisa was deployed, so we took over her lease, and we moved there to like a 2-bedroom condo. And then after that, we got our house. Like we got our house in 2016.
Damn, you guys been there for a minute now. Dang.
Yeah, we've had our house for a while.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Oh, when it comes to mental health, I always say too, it's not where you live. Like people are always like, "Oh, you live in Vegas and you're trying to work on your mental health." I'm like, yeah, like
dude, my mental health has been the best it's ever been here. Really, it has.
To me though, it's not where you're at. Like
no.
You can move anywhere. You can move to wherever. And if you're not right.
Yeah.
If upstairs or you're not working on it.
If you're not ready,
yeah. If you're not ready, you're not ready.
It's not gonna work.
Wherever you move. Yeah, because I went to a couple of AAs while I was completely sober over in Anaheim, and they're like, "You're trying to do this in Vegas?" They're like, "Good luck." I'm like, rude. I'm like, to me, it's not like where you're at.
Yeah, we don't live on the strip. We don't party. We only go to the strip when people are visiting. Like, we're a regular city. Like, I always think that's funny. I'm like, no, we don't. But yeah, I
even avoided like going into like the main strip this weekend when like
cousins
were here. Like they stayed at Tuscany Suites, which is like just outside of the strip.
It is.
And they're like, we're gonna go to New York this after this, and I was like,
bye. Yeah.
I was tired from the Raider game the day before, so I was like, no way am I gonna go out.
No.
And then like my sister was making fun of the Locos because it was Lisa and then your sister, right? They was all there, and they're like, your sister's like, you're leaving? I was like, yeah. She goes, oh, good. That means I can leave now too.
Yeah, we live here. We don't want to go to these places.
Not all
we
the time.
Pay for parking. Like, there's too many people. Like, then there's too many drunk people, and then it's like, no. Yeah. I can remember the last time I went to the strip. Actually, it's been a while.
The strip. When Sally was in town, that's when the last time I went to the strip.
Okay.
That podcast.
I'm trying to think of. I can't. When we first started dating, Fernando had a lot of friends that were like promoters and stuff. So we would get in to like clubs and stuff like that. And then like as time went on, like there were friends that would be like, "Can you get me in?" And he would be like, "Okay." And I remember one time when we like got them in, we went up, I think it was like Hakkasan, and we
Mm.
went up the stairs and everything, like, and he's like, "Are you ready to go?" We were there for like 15 minutes. And then he's like, "Are you ready to go?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm ready to go. I'm over this." And like, I don't think we ever went back to a club
No,
after
like-
that. No. And I'm like, dang, how times have changed.
Mhm.
Yep. But anyways,
Is
those
anything
are
you want to address when it comes to our mental health, your mental health, or anything in general?
anything I want to address. My journey is my journey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of what else.
I do want to address something because there's people that are like, people I know, right, in general, or just in general, they're like,
Uh-huh.
I have to put.
Say their name. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Well, I think it's like just a thing out there where they're
Uh-huh.
like, I can't take time off, and I need to go to work and take care of the family. I'm like, yeah, but like, your mental health, if you're not working on it, the toxicity of whatever's going on, it's gonna trickle down to like the family.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave an example that I heard. I think it was through the VA when I was taking the classes or
Mm-hmm.
the group sessions, and they said, when you're in an airplane and they tell you when the mask drop, what are you supposed to do? They're like, you're supposed to put it on and then help everybody else
Mhm.
next. And like that's the way you should go about with mental health, right?
Mhm.
Like if you're not in the right state of mind, how is anybody around you like that
Yeah.
you're taking care of going to be in the
Mhm.
right state of mind? So I don't know. I just implore people, like, you know, even if you have to take off time work, like they should understand. I think,
Yeah,
right?
I get the other end of that where it's
Yeah.
like I can't afford, I can't do this
Yeah.
because not everybody has the luxury of being able to, like to get off work. I think about like with our parents,
Yeah.
they couldn't call out, they wouldn't call out, they needed the money, they needed to
So
be there.
sad.
I know.
Mm.
And now though, I do think with like betterhelp.com where it's like virtual and stuff
Oh,
like that,
yeah.
that has definitely opened a new avenue for people
Yeah.
to seek help.
Yeah. That's true.
Because
Yeah.
it's like if you can sit there and make plans to go have drinks or to have dinner or to go to a family party, you should be able to make time to go to therapy if that's what you feel like you need,
Good point.
because it's like you are, when it comes to family events, everybody's like, oh, this and this and this, but why don't you take that same energy for yourself, like people
Like,
with
even Melissa did last week. She had like her appointment,
Mhm.
and she's like, I'm not coming to come to that family event.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
yeah,
that.
and it's like, okay, you guys plan for, I'm thinking about like my siblings and their kids have activities and stuff like that, and it's like, okay, if you have a day off, I get that you have kids activities and you have, you're parenting, but it's like you should be able to have time for yourself. I know sometimes that's hard, but it should be more prioritized. Because like I always say, you can't fill out of an empty cup.
Oh, yeah. That's so true.
And it's like you have to lead by example, because like with the younger generation, like how do you expect them to prioritize their mental health or to feel comfortable talking to you about their mental health if they don't have an example of it?
That's so true.
And that's why I'm so open with
Yeah.
my nieces and nephews and my godsons and stuff like that, because I'm like, I want you to be able to know that, 1, I go to therapy, 2, I take medication, 3, I've had the same thoughts that you've had, I've been through what you've been through, and there's light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I'm here to support you. And so that's why I'm like, I'm open about it. I don't care. I'm not ashamed. I used to drink a lot, and that used to be my coping mechanism, and now I don't, And it's like, I feel like people should, I get the not having time. Time off of work.
True.
But like, you could wake up earlier, late, do something, like you could literally sit in your car on FaceTime,
break,
on your lunch break and do that. I've had therapy sessions on my lunch break where I'm like in my car eating my lunch and talking to my therapist, because it's like, no, it's important. You know, just the same way as your kids' activities are important, the same way your family parties are important, your mental health should be above,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
But we were
So,
never taught that.
no,
Never.
no.
This
And
is we're self-teaching ourselves this stuff.
yes, I think a lot
Absolutely.
of like inner child healing, I've heard this a couple times. It's like
Mm.
you're reparenting yourself.
Damn.
Yeah. Which I thought is interesting, right? Because you
Yeah.
get to do the things that you wanted to, or like you didn't get as a kid, like
Yeah.
emotionally,
Oh
physically,
my
whatever.
gosh.
Yeah, you're like reparenting, and I like that, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, I get to take care of me. I get to heal little me, and like with their parents, it wasn't acceptable for them to take care of their mental health. Like,
No.
they're always the generation that had to survive.
Oof. Yeah.
We're the generation that we get to choose. We have
Mm-hmm.
options. We don't have to just survive.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think we've been a little harsh on them, probably.
yeah, yeah,
But they
I,
didn't know.
yeah. They didn't
They
know.
didn't know.
They didn't know what to do. It was their.
Mm-hmm.
It's their. I always see this thing that says it's my parents' first time living too.
Damn.
It's their first time parenting. It's the first time they're living. They don't know. But
Mm.
I feel like, my with me, my mom is very accepting about
Mm-hmm.
everything, and I like talk to her about things like I was talking to her about this therapy that I'm gonna do, and it's like if I can share this information that I get and it helps you, or like at
Mm-hmm.
least you're aware of it, and you're not like, oh, you should, you
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't do this, you should, that's bad, whatever. And so
Mm-hmm.
that also feels nice,
Yeah.
like that they're accepting and they're also learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my mom is more accepting of the mental route. My dad is too,
Mm-hmm.
but he's just, I don't know, he's just not as bought into it. Like he still
Mm-hmm.
hasn't watched an episode of the
Really?
podcast.
Oh my gosh.
And my yeah, I think my mom's more open to it. And
Yeah.
she's still super religious, but she sees that it has helped me.
Yeah.
Like so she's like, okay, it's working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because then also it's like, if we don't share how we're feeling in
Mm,
the bad times, like how do they know, that it's working, or how do they
yeah.
know, like, because it's like we're not taught, but we've always held our emotions in,
Yeah.
and
Oh
now it's like now I'm feeling all the feelings. So
You're gonna
yeah,
know.
yeah, exactly. Do you think, like, if you were to ever ask your parents to go to like a family therapy session, they would?
My mom would.
Your mom?
My dad no.
No.
Uh-uh.
Okay.
I've asked him to go to therapy because he went through his cancer
Yeah.
scare, or he had cancer, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hey, that was that was pretty traumatic what he went through. Like,
Yeah.
like how do you not
Mhm.
want to talk to somebody about it?
Yeah, I feel the same way about my mom.
Oh yeah.
Very
Yeah,
traumatic.
you're from the accident, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Like
Mhm.
I feel like he should talk to somebody, and
Yeah.
he's not.
Yeah. I know, but it's like, I mean, you can
You
lead
can't
a
force
horse
it.
to, yeah.
Yeah. Say it.
Mhm. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it.
Yes.
I think it is.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. I know for sure my mom would. My
Yeah.
dad would, but he would like, I don't know. He'd be like this. And I have the same face that my dad has. Like, he has that focus face, and I'm like, that's how he would be. But he would be there, which is more than I could say from, they've grown,
Yeah.
which is cool. Can you imagine, like, the whole family?
We got this from like www. Go up a little bit. Healthdirect.gov. Good mental health,
Okay.
and it's like says things about like mental health. Like for
Mm-hmm.
example, key facts. Good mental health is when you feel you can manage day-to-day stress, work productively. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
use your abilities and contribute to society.
That last part is interesting.
Contribute to
Contribute to
society.
society
Because
is when you feel you can manage day-to-day stresses, work productively. See, that's what I'm learning to do. Like, for instance, today, my coworker was asleep again. And so I was like, put my headphones in, I put Pandora in, and I was like, I told the the lady that sits in front of me, like, hey, I have my headphones in. If you need me, like, flag me down. She's like, okay. And so it's like, I worked productively because I was like don't let that bother you. Like,
Mm.
just worry about yourself. Mind your business. And so, like, okay. But yeah, it's good for my mental health to just listen to my music
Yeah.
and and do that. But yeah, contribute to society is interesting.
I
Like,
think we're doing that with this
yes,
podcast.
yes, definitely.
Before I
Like
wasn't
if
contributing shit to society. I was a menace to society.
That's so funny. You know what's in? I had signed up this morning for UNLV has an immigration clinic,
Oh, wow.
and I have been wanting to do something in immigration.
Mm.
Somehow, like I'm not trying to be a lawyer, but so I signed up to volunteer for that because they're having like a citizenship workshop, and I was like, oh, because I've never like I can't remember the last time I volunteered for anything. So I'm like, oh, this is something that I want to do, and I'm excited to do that.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm contributing to society over here. Okay.
Look at us.
You see what happens when you have good mental health? The next one says good mental health is a key part of feeling happy with life, being connected to other people, and having a sense of meaning. I feel like the last words
Sense
of
of
these things are like
meaning,
they're very impactful.
Mhm.
A key part of feeling happy with life. Yeah, because if you're like not in a good headspace,
Mhm.
then it affects everything else,
Mhm.
like your body language, if you're in a bad mood and you stay like that, like
Yeah,
it's just gonna
and connecting with other people. Like I read a podcast. I think her name was something Robbins.
Mel Robbins.
Mel Robbins, yeah. And this guy, they did a study
Mm-hmm.
on like in Boston, like with these people from like a 80-year study from life to like almost their death,
Uh-huh.
and they were asking them like, what was the most important thing to your life, and they said connecting with people. Like, so I'm like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
that's a big thing. It wasn't money. It wasn't. Like,
Yeah, no.
it was connections. I was like, oh shit.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It
And
is. It's true.
yeah, I think so too. Because when I was going through it,
Mm-hmm.
I was with people, but I wasn't connecting with people.
Mm-hmm.
I was around people, but I wasn't like, it wasn't meaningful. I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just there.
Yeah.
Drugs, alcohol, like that's not meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
Having a sense, I like that. Having a sense of meaning.
Sense of meaning.
Like this podcast makes me feel like I have a sense of meaning.
Yeah.
Going to school even too. Like,
Mm-hmm. My sister's kids make me feel like I have a sense of meaning. Like they're just so fun to like hang out with. Like, and it's like I get to be the one to spoil them and do all the fun things. Like, they were here this weekend and like I took half a day. I got out early and I went to my parents' house because they were there. And we just played games. Like we played Scrabble. Like I love to play board games. Fernando hates to play board games. So when they come, like my nephews, my nieces, my godsons, I'm like, yeah, you guys want to play? Like, let's play. And so I'm like, oh, that's so much fun. Like, there are things that I wish, like, with like Mariah, my oldest niece, I was 12 when she was born. So like I was partying through like her childhood. And I always feel like I could have been a better aunt if I was in a better mental health space, but I wasn't. So I always feel bad, like, man, I wish I could have, loved on her like I do the littles and all that, but I'll make it up, Mariah, I promise.
I think there's still time.
I know. Being connected to other people, that's very important. I feel like a lot of that is lost with text messages.
Oh yeah,
like
social media.
Yeah, like
it's supposed to bring us closer together,
and it doesn't. Like it's like you don't check in on people because you see their life, but you're only seeing like a 90-second clip of their life or like a picture. So it's like I could try to make a point to text people. Like when they're on my mind, I text them and be like, "Hey, how are you?" Whatever. Yes, it is just a text message, but even that's further than social media. Like you say, like liking pictures or like, sending reactions to stuff. Like that's some kind of form of connection, but it's like an informal, like for instance, my best friend and I, we talk at least once a week. Like we talk on the phone on our way to work.
Nice.
And it's like she texted me this morning and was like, "Hey, I'm off today. Let me know. Call me when you can." And so I'm like, okay, because we hadn't talked. And so like we always fill each other in on everything. We talk about everything and stuff. And so I was like, she's like, I told my husband that I hadn't talked to you. And I was like, I know, it's been forever. And it's literally been like 5 days. But I definitely like being connected to her is like, I'm cool. Like, I'm good, you know? Yeah. Oh, okay. Who are you most connected with, do you feel?
Right now, I would say my sister.
Okay.
We talk daily, I would say.
Yeah, that's cool.
We call once a day. For right now. Sorry, Fubs.
That's funny. Yeah. Let me see. Who? I'm gonna say Desiree. Yeah.
Desiree.
Yeah. Well, aside from Fernando, but
I think I do need to work on that. Like reaching out to people. I feel like more people reach out to me than I reach out to them.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I'm bugging people, but that's part of like the mental health thing where I'm like,
yeah.
Wait, I'm not bugging anybody. Like they probably want to hear from me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I'll text people and I'll be like, hey, how are you doing? I don't know, whatever. But yeah, that connection is important to mental health. Let's see. Next, resilience allows you to cope with challenges by using your inner strength and support networks. Resilience allows you to cope with challenges. What does that mean to you? How do you understand that?
How I understand that is like using what you're like, maybe your coping mechanisms, your support network, like your people around you, to cope with it instead of going to the bottle or to the drugs and like going to a healthy way.
Yeah.
Like resiliency to me is like I got through this without hurting myself even more.
Yeah.
I got through this in a healthy manner and not the old way.
Yeah.
And I bounced back up.
Yeah.
I bounced back in a healthy way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it bothered me.
Yeah.
But it didn't take me down like it used to.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think about that, and anytime shit got hard, like I would have like very like self-harming thoughts. Or like suicidal ideation.
Absolutely.
Or like I used to cut, or like I used to stop from cutting, I would put a rubber band and then I would snap the rubber band but that was still like hurting myself, you know. And now like the way that I get out of like a bad, like I'm sad or anything like that, it's literally I put like corridos or like or like right now I'm listening to El Alfa, which is like a Dominican like reggaeton rapper or whatever, and it's just like the beats and I'm just like dancing and having a good time, and I'm like, okay, like I try to start my day off, like my drive there with music, upbeat music, because there's some times where I'm like getting down in my chair at work and I'm like, I don't care, I'm in a good mood, like it just helps my mood too.
I still listen to 80s freestyle music when I want to be in a good mood. Definitely. I go less to my sad music list.
Yeah.
I do have that.
Sometimes I do. I'm like singing my heart out and I'm like, girl, your life is good. I don't know. I'm just pretending right now. Yeah.
Yeah, but to me, resiliency is using whatever you
push through it.
To push through it and bounce back up.
Yeah, in a healthy way. Your inner strength and support networks. Yeah. Support networks. I feel like my mom, me and my mom have gotten really close. Like, I have lunch at my parents' house every day.
Nice.
So I have lunch with her. So when she got into her accident, it just like really affected me. Like, but I wasn't able to deal with it because it was like I had to go into like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, you know, like support mode. But like I'm so close to her. Like it's literally my best friend and my mama. Like that's who I'm close to. She's my support network. The next one says, investing time and energy in your relationships with family and friends is important for your mental health.
Oh, absolutely.
I think to an extent. Because there's some people that are not good for your mental health.
Oh, yeah.
And you need to not feel guilty for putting yourself first. Like, you know, putting your own mental health first and setting boundaries.
Yeah. Like I did last week.
Exactly.
Yes.
Good
with
for
the person that was going to come here. I said,
yep.
hey, I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Mm.
Investing time in your relationships. So I feel like from my own experience,
Mm.
we spend a lot of time on our phones. Like we're
Mm.
like next to each other, but we're on our phones. I'm the culprit of that mainly, and that's something that I need to work on. Like
Mm.
I need to spend more like physical time together, and not like zoned out.
Be in the moment, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I could work on that too.
Yeah. I feel like my phone is uh like a portal. Just go.
Yeah.
Especially, I've been shopping a lot. I need to not do that. That's another. It's funny. I get like, not. I guess you could call it like obsessive when it's something new. I'm like, oh.
Oh.
Like when I first started going thrifting, it was like I was there every day. Like now I go like once a week. But like shopping is something that I need to work on. It's like something that it's like, well, but I don't drink. My money doesn't go there. I'd just rather wear my money.
Mine's just shoes.
Oh,
Ugh.
I just love
And hats.
thrifting. Thrifting. Oh my god, I took my niece and Lisa's daughter thrifting,
Oh yeah.
and this is like the clearance center, the Goodwill clearance center. It's like these giant bins. They're like 3 by 5 feet of bins, like the pallets. They just empty them out. We left out of there with 82 pounds because you pay by the pound there, so it's like $1.98.
82 pounds. How'd you guys carry that out? A
We
small
have
child.
our IKEA bags, right? Like we split them, but I was like, oh my god! But it's like, it was cool because it's something that me and my niece do every time she comes. I used to do that all the time. Like I used to go before work, and now I'm like tired. I can't do that. But it was like, okay, I love to spend time with her. Something that I love to do, thrifting, and then she likes to thrift too. She even was like, my friends are always excited when I come to Vegas because they know that I'm gonna go thrifting.
Like, bring me something back.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay. But yeah,
That's awesome.
it's important to, have those I very much try to be intentional with the kids of spending time with them and like not on my phone and not, because they're going to remember this and it's like, I'm going to be like, I don't want to be like how I was with Mariah where I regretted it. I love you, Mariah.
Love you too, Monkey Face. That's my nickname for her.
Oh, okay. The last one says, you can build good mental health by maintaining a healthy lifestyle, practicing gratitude, contributing to the community, and doing things you enjoy. So that practicing gratitude, that is something that I need to be better at.
Me too.
Because, like, remember in the beginning, I gave us all these gratitude journals?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't written in it.
I did for a bit.
Yeah,
I stopped,
and
I
it was
did for
good.
a bit. Yeah, it helps.
It
I gotta
does.
get back to it.
Me too. That's why I'm like, I need to practice more gratitude for things because I do have a good life. I am a spoiled wife, a little bit too spoiled sometimes. Maintaining a healthy lifestyle, to me, that's
a big one.
Yeah.
I think so. Like eating.
Yeah.
Not drinking as much. Definitely no hard drug use.
Yeah. Get up and move.
Get up and move.
Yeah.
Walking the dogs, right?
That's it. Yeah.
Walking.
That's
I
want to incorporate more moving in my routine. I'm like, I need something else. I just have a problem like committing to things. Like once I get there, I'm like, okay, but it's like getting there is like hard for me. I like drag my feet on stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm trying to work on
get our cousin Frank on here.
I know.
For a healthy lifestyle.
GI Fit. Is it GI Fitness? Yeah. I look at his stuff and I'm like, dang, like he's very dedicated, and I very much respect that.
Shout out to Frank.
Like, yeah, Frank. Yeah, like he started on that journey and he like never looked back. He's so dedicated and he's like inspiring other people too. That's
he's
cool.
Inspired me with working out. Like,
yeah.
I gotta get like him.
Yeah.
It'll take me a few 20 more years, but I'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I like to look at his stuff. It's very like inspiring and encouraging. Yeah, that's cool. So healthy lifestyle, something I need to work on. Practicing gratitude. I'm gonna try and write in that journal. You know what? I had seen this. I forgot where I saw it, but it was like once a week at the end of the week. write something that you were grateful for that week.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in like a bucket or put it in like a bin, something, and add them in like a little fishbowl, whatever. And at the end of the year or like New Year's, read them. So you remember the things that you were grateful for. Which I was like, that's cool. Like, that's something that I want to do. Like,
they forget it sometimes.
Yeah.
What we're grateful for. Just like, it was a week.
Yeah, that's why I like writing stuff too. I tend to write stuff and then just leave it as it is. But I feel like I need to go back and read it, because like you don't realize how much growth until you see like where you were in that mental space at that time.
That's a good point. Oh my God, if I would have written something 5 years ago.
Then we could submit it to your book. I do have a like journal that's like a 5-year. It's like you write something a day, and I was like, I gotta start writing in that, like, because then it'll be cool to see like your progress, to see where you are, what it is, like what you're grateful for then, where you were at then and where you're at now.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Let's see. Contributing to the community and doing things you enjoy. Contributing to the community. That's this podcast.
That's the podcast. Yeah.
Honestly, I still love hearing from everybody. Like, it's so cool. Like, oh, our little podcast. I love it.
Me too. I love it. Like any kind of comment, even constructive criticism, we take it in.
It's cool. It's like connecting with people. Yeah, that's cool. And you guys get to see and hear us. Doing things you enjoy. I do. My favorite thing to do is shop, and that's. I need to think of other things that I enjoy to do, like maybe get on them roller skates, bubble wrap myself, and roller skate. What kind of things do you enjoy to do, like for yourself?
I actually like working out now. Like,
yeah?
It's something I enjoy now. Before I used to, damn, I gotta work out.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Good
and
for
I get
you.
into it. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been noticing progress, like, and that helps. Like when you notice the
Yeah.
progress, you're like, okay, this is working.
Yeah.
Finally, after all these years.
Oh, yeah. Good for you. Yeah. You also are in a better mental space.
Yeah.
So that works. Oh, good for you. Yeah. I need I need more hobbies.
I do need more hobbies though. Like,
yeah. I know our neighbors had told Fernando, like, oh, you should have her what is it? Rock climbing.
Oh.
She might like that. And it was so funny because on our cruise they had rock climbing, and I was like, okay, I could do this. Like, it's fun, whatever, But I'm like, I need to think of something else.
That's funny. There's like this new place here in Vegas, Ninja something.
Oh,
Melissa had sent it to me earlier today, and there's a rock climbing on there.
Oh.
And there's all this stuff you can do, like smash fruit and like
cool.
do a course, like a Ninja Warrior course.
Oh, I think
you saw it?
Yes, because the last time my best friend was here, my godsons wanted to go to one, but the one that he originally said was like for adults, and she was like, "It looks like so much fun. Like, we should go there." And I was like, "Oh," we ended up going to the kids one because he's little. He was little, so then I was like, "Oh, but yeah, that probably is the same one."
They have a wall climbing thing, and I was like, "That's just the one I don't want to do."
Yeah, we did it. And it was fun. It was funny because there was like a little girl. She was like 6 or 7, and then she like climbed, and then she got down, and I was like, I want to do the course that she's doing, and then I'll work my way up. Like, yeah. But yeah, I need to work on getting some hobbies because I need something.
I do love hiking, but here it's kind of hot to do it right now.
You have to do it in like at the end of October because Halloween is always a question of whether if it's gonna be hot or cold on Halloween.
Yeah.
I do feel like it's a cooler this time around.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of good hikes out here, like Red Rock or like.
Even here, I can like walk to a hike from here.
Oh yeah, there's what is it? The hot springs in like the Arizona Nevada border. Yeah, right there. I did that one time. It's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, there's plenty to do here. It just has to be cool. Like some of them they close during the summer.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
because they're like F around and find out.
Die.
If you take this one. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this I don't think people realize. What is good mental health? Good mental health is more than just the absence of mental illness.
Mm.
It means you are in a state of well being where you feel good and function well in the world. According to the World Health Organization, good mental health is when you can cope with normal stresses of life, learn and work productively, use your talents and abilities, contribute to the community. I feel like we went over
Most of
most of
that.
those
Yeah.
except for use your talents and abilities.
Mm.
I don't know what my talents and abilities are.
This is one of. I think this is. Is this a
Yeah.
talent?
I love to talk. I love to talk, and I love a good bargain. I know how to bargain shop. But that's why I'm like I want to get into like more of a humanities
Yeah.
thing because it's like I like it.
Yeah. 'Cause my goal is to work with veterans eventually.
Mm, that'd be good for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you have good mental health, you might feel happy, confident, hopeful, and generally satisfied with life.
Agree.
Yeah, me too. Like confident um, with my clothes. Like I'm very confident in my clothes because I'm like, oh, I know I look cute. Like I know I look cute. I feel good. You know, and that's a big part of my mental health is like if I look good, I feel good. And it's like when I'm wearing bright colors or I'm wearing all my jewelry, like I feel good.
Yeah.
And it's like I can't. How you gonna? I seen this thing. It's like how you gonna be in a bad mood when you're out here looking like a Care Bear? Like I'm like yes, so true. You are likely to feel connected to other people
Yeah.
and be making a contribution to society.
Yeah.
Again, contributing to
Mhm.
society. Let's see. That's another one. You might also have a sense of meaning or purpose and feeling of being at peace.
That's like my big thing. Is
Yeah?
I'm at peace right now, and
Mm.
I feel like somebody's not adding. Not I'm not necessarily adding to it, but messing with my peace, like
Mhm.
disturbing my peace. Out.
Disturbing the peace.
Disturbing the peace. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think that's something that it's like you have to know what that feels like.
Mhm.
Because once you feel it, you're like, oh my God. It's like euphoria. You're like, ah. Everyone has challenges in life. We be telling our challenges once a week. People who have good mental health are more likely to be able to cope with the ups and downs of daily life. Yeah. That's something that, like I said, I need to regulate my emotions because it's like, okay, my body is still in, what is it called? Fight or flight. You are more likely to have good mental health if you are confident when you come across new situations or stresses. You feel optimistic. You do not always blame yourself.
Oh,
that's
that's a hard
that's
one.
when I need to work on.
I think I've been getting better at that.
Yeah.
Like my whole child abuse stuff.
Yeah.
I used to blame myself for a lot, and now I'm like, no, you know what? Fuck that. They did that to me. I'm the victim. They're not the victim because they still act like the victim. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You can set and achieve your goals. You can stick to routines that are good for you, such as eating and sleeping well. I'm going to bed at a earlier time now because
Me
I do
too.
get up early.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, we need to be in bed by 10. You can enjoy life even though you've had difficult experiences.
Oh, wow.
That one I relate to hard.
Same here. Absolutely.
Because for a while I stayed in like victim mentality.
Yes.
And it's hard to break out of that, you know? Like, okay, it happened to you, but what are you going to do about it now? How are you standing up for yourself now? And how are you being a better version of yourself despite what happened to you?
Yes, exactly. I try to stay away from people with victim mentalities. Like, I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. Go work on yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Like when people like start, like they start argument or whatever situations, and then when you like confront them about it, and they like want to be the victim, and it's like, dude, you did it, and just because I'm holding you accountable,
yes,
okay.
Accountability. That's the big one.
Yep. Building resilience is an important part of having good mental health. This is when you can cope with unexpected changes and challenges in your life by using your inner strength and networks around you. Resilient people can manage stress better. This means they are less likely to develop mental health problems such as depression and anxiety. You can learn coping skills to build resilience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Depression and anxiety, I feel like those go hand in hand.
Yeah, they do. Absolutely.
Yeah. Um, it says for more information about building resilience, visit Headspace or Kids Helpline.
Mm.
I think kids' mental health, I feel like parents nowadays are definitely more aware.
Yeah, they are.
But like I said, you got to work on yourself to
Mm-hmm.
lead by example,
Yes.
too, you know?
I'm big on leading by example.
Daily actions for good mental health. Research conducted by MindSpot has shown that people who regularly do the below actions tend to have better mental health than people who don't do them. Um, these are referred to as the Big Five, and the research has shown that the more often you do these actions, the better your mental health may be. So it says meaningful activities, healthy thinking, goals and plans, healthy routine, social connections.
I feel like I'm doing all those now.
Let me see. Meaningful activities, healthy thinking, goals and plans, and healthy routine is new to me. Working on it, and social connections. Social connections. Like I said, I feel like
I could probably work on that.
Yeah.
You too?
Mm-hmm.
I cut you off. You were probably going to say the same thing.
Yeah. Like I said, the only one I talk to is my best friend. Let's see. So resources and support. Find out more about maintaining good mental health. Try this mental health check-in to find out if you might need some help at the moment. If you are struggling to feel happy, cope with everyday life, find meaning, or feel connected to others, you can talk to your doctor or a mental health professional. Yeah, I feel like sometimes people think struggling is just like a part of life, but it's like work smarter, not harder. Like if you can get help, like
especially
why not?
if you suffer like a big trauma. Like, yeah, I definitely would recommend.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like I know. So I know like sexual abuse is something big in the Latino community, and like they don't talk about it, and I know. Yep, it gets swept under the rug. Often you're left to feel shameful, even though it was done to you. It wasn't something that you let happen to you. But it's like, how many people have gone through that and just like stuffed it down? And it's like, I know these are the things we're not supposed to talk about, but look at what happens when we do talk about them. You know, like what if somebody that we know has gone through that and just never dealt with it? And it's like, look, we're being open and we're being vulnerable by saying, you know, what we've gone through and how we're getting through it, you know?
And can we talk about our what is the word I'm looking for? What we have in common with our, or just do we not want to say?
I will say that our, let me think. Our situations are linear, I would say. They're related, our situations. And it's like, we didn't know until we started talking about it.
Yeah. Till this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I openly will say, you know, what happened to me. I don't care. Like, I'm not ashamed of it. And that's the only way like people feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Like to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, I've talked about it and like I made it known. Like I'm working on myself.
Can we link exactly it? Do you not want to talk about it? I mean, for me, like I'm fine talking about it. How it's linked, it's crazy to me. Like it's fucked up.
Yeah. So our situations are linear. Basically, your situation ended up in how I ended up in my situation. So it was like a domino effect, I want to say. Like what happened to you happened to somebody else, and then that happened to me kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we didn't know that until we started talking about it. And like, I know it's like not shameful, but it's like, oh, you're outing people or you're saying this and that. But it's like, this is my story to tell.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
It's my story to tell. I'm not protecting anybody. Like, yeah. So it's like, it was a domino effect. What happened to you happened to somebody else. And that somebody else
same person
did it. Yeah. Did it to me. So, yep. Talking about things we're not supposed to talk about. But yeah, that's why I'm like sharing this story and sharing how we're getting through this, and you know, it's helpful to not only us, but it's helpful to other people. Like, you know, I didn't get help until Fernando, and to have support like that, like right out the bat, like I moved in right away and we started going to therapy, like, but yeah.
And I'll be honest, when you told me the situation, I got furious at that person. Even like me and the person that did it to me, we talked about it. He apologized to me, and this was years ago. And I guess I was not okay with him, but yeah, I guess I was okay with him. I was like, all right, he apologized. He was a young person too, and then that happened where he told me what he said, and I was just like, this guy has no remorse. He hasn't changed to this day who he is. He's still playing a victim. He's still the same person essentially. He doesn't want to work on himself. And to me, I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. Like, I don't want you around me.
Yeah.
Like, you may have apologized, but apologies only go to so far. Is if you're not changing, you're still the same person. Like, fuck that, dude. I don't want that person around me anymore. And especially after what you told me, I was so pissed because I was like, he didn't realize what he did had consequences in other people. Oh yeah.
It's not funny.
No, we're nervous laughing.
We're nervous laughing over here. Yeah, it's to tell you that, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Because then it was like I didn't have that realization until you and I had that conversation.
Yeah.
Like, it was a cause and effect until then, and so it was like, oh shit, okay.
We had that conversation even back then, where we're like, if we talk about this, shit's gonna flow downhill.
It's gonna hit the fan.
Well, you know what? Fuck that. Why are we protecting anybody when it comes to this?
Yeah. You know, with your situation, because with my situation, I completely cut, like, that was my boundary. It was like, I don't interact with you. I don't see you. Nobody in my family, you know, whatever. And when you were still, like, interacting, I was like, I don't know how he could do that. Like, I don't know how, like, because I couldn't and I can't. Like, and so I was like, what? Okay. So then when you stood up for yourself and now you've set your boundary, I'm like, I feel like subconsciously I was like, he hasn't really dealt with it when you were still, like, you had the conversation and you were hanging out still. And now I'm like, oh, now he's like burned this shit down. Like, he's really healing and he's really, like, getting through it. But I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I needed to, like, like, a friend of mine recently told me, you acted different around that person.
Yeah.
Because they met them. And they're like, you were acting so different. Like, you weren't yourself. I was like, really? And I was like, she's like, yeah, like, you were like you didn't know him. And you were just different. And I was like, what? I was like, I never noticed that. But now that I look back at it, I'm like, yeah, I think I was different around this person all the time. So.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't got that. I'm not putting myself in that
situation. Yeah. Well, not me anymore. Just,
yeah.
I was like, nope. I don't think it's a good idea to come over next week.
Yep. We set boundaries.
Set boundaries. Yeah.
Yep. Whew.
think we
Well,
need to get that out.
yep. See, we thought we were gonna be quick with this episode. Look at how long this one went.
We still have to do our card.
Oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and go to our deep card.
Mm-hmm.
What is the most important trait in a friend and why?
Ooh, fuck. Say kindness.
Kindness.
Yeah. It's just overall being a nice person.
Me, because I only got like one. I'm just kidding. I have friends, but I have one best friend. With friends, it's like full transparency.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're gonna call me on my shit, and whatever, and I'm gonna call you on your shit, and you don't put your emotions in it. Like.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I think that's important. Yeah, just full transparency.
I just think about, like, for me, kindness is like, I had an ex-girlfriend that we would go to dinner, and she was just rude to the waiting staff.
That's
and
so ugly.
Always hated that. Please don't spit on my food.
Oh yeah! Oh my god, that's crazy. I don't get how people are like.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate when I'm out and like people are rude to employees, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, why are they being such a jerk? Like, I'm sorry that person is rude to you. Like, those people do not have good mental health.
No, they don't.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. That's our episode today. Thank you for joining us. If you are in need of medical assistance, please contact your local provider. If you are having thoughts of suicide, please call the National Suicide Hotline at 988. In case of emergency, call 911. See you next week as we talk about the things we're not supposed to talk about.